Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with my friend Colby Doody with us from Landmark Financial Services. Good afternoon, Colby. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Colby, I asked you to come on the show because I'm really excited. So, I read online that the state of Massachusetts is giving me a refund on some of the state taxes I paid. Is that true?
Yeah, so it's true. It comes from a 1986 law that was put into place, and the law basically says if the state brings in more revenue beyond a certain dollar threshold or a certain percent, then those proceeds are required to go to the taxpayers within and outside of Massachusetts, and I'll talk more about that in a second. So basic foundation is in 1986, they put a tax code into place. We've exceeded the revenue amount in Massachusetts, so the state's required to give it back to the taxpayers.
Has that ever happened? It just seems like almost amazing, like for a state to give you money back.
Yeah, so it actually happened once in 1987. So a year after the tax law went into effect, it happened a year later, which is ironic. But it has not happened since then. So you don't typically hear of anything like this outside of a COVID stimulus. So yeah, with COVID, a lot of states were given refunds and special grants and things like that. But outside of any special provisions like that, you typically don't see it. I can't attest to how many states might have a similar tax code on the books. Quite frankly, a lot of people in Massachusetts, even the people at the state house and the individuals there, they weren't even aware of it until council came to them and said, hold on a second, the auditor is going to come in and you guys got to give this money back. You got to give a portion of the revenues back. So even the people that make the laws currently, they weren't even aware of this specific tax provision.
Like you said, if you haven't used it since '87, you wouldn't even think about it. All right, so Colby, can I retire now? How much money?
Yeah. Probably not as much as I think both of us would like to do that. It's probably not going to happen. So the formula is, so if you filed your tax return, so I'm going to talk about that really quick. So in order to get the money back, you have to have filed your tax return by October 17th. So if you've already filed, which the majority of people have, you're good to go. But if you haven't, the idea is you want to get that in by October 17th. And the reason why is right now the projected excess revenue is around $2.9 billion. And that amount is likely going to increase once everyone else gets their return in. It's unknown at this time if you file after October 17th, if you are going to be part of this refund or this rebate, however you want to look at it. Because once the state auditor verifies any additional revenue to come in for the fiscal year of the state, that's it. Once they, it's possible that once they give out the refunds in mid-November, you might not be eligible. So it's always recommended get your 2021 tax return in by October 17th. So that's number one. So number two, as far as the amount of the refund, it is based on your 2021 tax liability. And that's an important number because it's not based on your refund amount. It is not based on the amount you owed. You need to look at your tax liability on your Massachusetts return. Now, as far as the amount that you could potentially be refunded right now, as for the people that have filed, the number is around 13% of that tax liability. The idea is that number could increase depending on what additional revenue is brought in for the extensions, for the tax return extensions. But a good rule of thumb is it's going to be around 13% plus or minus of your tax liability.
Do I need to do anything to get this money? Are they just going to send me a check?
Yeah, so it's going to be automatic. And if you receive the refund and the bank account is on file with the state, they're actually going to direct deposit that money. If you requested a check or you owed when you filed your return, they're going to send you a check. So it's very important if you've moved or if you changed bank accounts. As of right now, you're not going to be able to change your bank account. So they're going to try to direct deposit the funds. And if it doesn't go through, they're going to issue you a check. But if they issue a check and you have not notified them that you've moved since filing your 2021 tax return, you want to contact the state and you want to tell them, hey, I've moved. This is my new address. Please send the check to this address. Otherwise, it could get lost in the mail. They're going to issue those in mid-November. My guess is it's probably going to take 2 weeks from there. The state's actually pretty efficient, believe it or not, in getting things out like that pretty quickly. But if you don't tell them that you moved, you're looking, a month, maybe 2 months or longer, because now they have to stop payment on the check, and it's a lot of work to get you another check reissued.
So Colby, if people have questions about this or anything else tax related, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can call us at the office. I am in the office almost pretty much every day. I think I've only worked from home like twice since COVID, believe it or not. So I'm here every day, 978-984-5425. Call in. That's the easiest way to reach me. They'll give you my email. I'm not going to do it over here in case people hear me mispronounce it. Or they can reach out to you. I know that you have my contact information as well. That I know that you would forward to them, but calling is the easiest. And then the secretary up front can give you the rest of my contact information.
Awesome. Colby, appreciate you taking a couple minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.